I'm back. Hey, what's up, guys? Brad here from Cloud Vision's Vape Reviews. I just want to wish everybody a belated Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we're going to start the new year off right by doing the full review on the IPV Mini. You guys ready? Let's go. So for the sake of today's review, I'm going to be using the Kanger sub tank to show you guys how to use this thing. The Kanger sub tank, I'm going to have a full review coming on it probably in the next couple days. Since I got this thing, I haven't even touched my Atlantis, so that should give you an idea how good this thing actually is. So yeah, today we're going to be using the Kanger sub tank on it just to show you guys how the menu works, show you how the screen, what it shows you, the resistance, everything like that. Alright, so first up, I'm going to show you guys how to use the memory functions that are built in to this Yeehee SX130 chip that's in this device. So to access the menu or the memory functions, you want to find a wattage that you're comfortable at, so you can scroll. Let's go to 28. Now to set that as your memory, you press the fire button until you hear it fire, and then press wattage up, and it stores it in your memory. You can see that one stored in memory slot 5. So then you can just repeat that for, there's 5 memory settings in this, so you can, let's go to number 3. To get out of that, you just press the wattage down, and then scroll up to whatever wattage you want. So let's go to 16.5. There we go. Press the fire button till you hear it fire. Press the wattage up, and it stores it. Pretty simple to use. Great little feature. It's notorious on all the IPV products. They have these built-in memory features, and it's just handy to use if you have multiple atomizers, multiple tanks that you want to use on this thing. Now, another cool feature of this product is that it has selectable pulse width modulation mode or straight DC-DC pass-through mode. Now to get to that, to get the DC-DC straight pass-through, you're going to press the fire button and the wattage down button at the same time. And there you go, you see it pops up, DC-DC. To put it in pulse width modulation mode, if you want to extend your battery life, you just pull the power and the wattage up button. And there you go, PWM, pulse width modulation. Now pulse width modulation, I wouldn't suggest using it if you're running this thing at high wattages because it's not going to be as nice of a vape. If you're using the Kanger sub tank, Atlantis, or an RDA that's 0.5 ohms, and you want a nice hot vape, consistent power, I would put it in DC-DC mode. If you're using something like a Nautilus Mini at lower wattages, you can get away with pulse width modulation. Put it in that, you'll get a little bit longer battery life out of it. So yeah, that's another cool little feature built into this. So yeah, there you go, DC-DC. I'm going to put it back in DC-DC because I'm using the Kanger sub tank. So now another cool feature built into this device is the mobile charge mode. So you can actually get an adapter that you can plug into here and plug into your phone, and you can actually charge your phone from this device. Now there's only one problem with that, and I'm sure if you've seen any other reviews on the IPV Mini, is that when you put it in mobile mode, it actually fires your atomizer. See if we can get it to do it. So to put it in mobile mode, you gotta hold the wattage up and the wattage down button at the same time. Let's listen and see if it fires. Okay, it didn't fire that time. You see that mobile on, mobile off, mobile on. Okay, now it's not gonna do it. But it did it every other time I did it. Of course, once we get it on camera, it doesn't want to do it. It's camera shy. Yeah, so it's not doing it now. But if you do get one of these and you try to use it for the mobile mode, you will notice that it does fire your atomizer when you put it in mobile on. But I mean, really, I'm not buying this mod to charge my batteries for my mobile phones. So I mean, it's a con, but it's definitely not a very big con. It's not. I mean, you're buying a mod to vape, not charge your phone, so it's not up there on the list of, you know, big bad things that I would look for in a mod. So now another cool feature is the pass-through chargeability. You can see that little port on the bottom there. It comes with a cord that you can plug into a USB adapter, and you can actually charge this thing on the go. So you don't actually need an external charger. All you have to do is buy this and an 18650 battery, and you're good to go. As long as you have a USB adapter, you can plug the cord into it and you can charge it. You can vape on it while it's charging. So yeah, you don't even need an external battery charger. So that's a cool feature built into it as well. I think that's a huge thing to have on mods these days, because as everybody knows, you're out on the go. If you're, traveling a lot, you may not have the ability to charge your batteries in an external battery charger. It's nice to be able to plug this thing in and just vape on it while it charges. Now, another thing I've noticed on this is that the chip is rated at 0.5 ohms. I don't know if you can see that, but this is actually reading 0.4, and it's still firing. So I'm gonna guess there's a little bit of leeway there. It probably fires down to 0.45. I confirmed with Greenleaf, one of the guys that works there, that his is also firing and showing 0.4 ohm resistance. It's not a huge deal. I mean, I put a 0.2 on it. It said it wouldn't fire. It gave me the warning saying resistance low. So it's probably, I would say it's 0.45 is the lowest resistance that this thing will fire. If any of you guys out there are finding that it's not reading and not firing anything below 0.5, comment in the comment box or on Facebook and let me know. So far I've only seen 2 other ones that have done it, but that's all I've seen. So now to what I think is the best selling feature of this device is the size of it. It's actually about the same size as an IPv2, but it's a little bit thinner. It's not as wide, but it definitely is about the same height. But all that being considered, this thing is one of the most comfortable feeling mods I've ever held in my hands. The shape of it, it's pretty much shaped the exact same as the EESX Mini, but I actually think this is a little bit more comfortable. And these atomizers, this is the Kanger. It's I think it's 26 millimeter tank, but I got the adapter on it to bring it back down to a 23 millimeter, and it sits pretty nice on there. So I mean, that tank is just as big as the mod itself. So, but yeah, the construction of this, it feels solid. It's heavier than an IPv2 and an IPv2S, considering they all 3 of those take one 18650 battery. But this thing feels very comfortable in the hands. It's nice to hold. Alright, so now that I gave you guys a quick run through of this little bad boy, I'm going to go over my pros and my cons. We'll do a little bit of vaping on it with the Kanger sub tank, and then we'll wrap this video up. Alright guys, so now I'm going to go over my pros and my cons for the IPV Mini. My first pro is definitely going to be the spring-loaded 510 connector that's in this device. I think all new mods that are coming out need to have these because of variations in atomizers. Some come with spring-loaded 510s like this Kanger sub tank, and some come with adjustable screws on the 510s like some of the RDAs, and then others they don't have adjustable 510s, and you need that ability for the 510 on your mod to adjust with your atomizer. We're starting to see a trend. Almost every new device that comes out is coming out with a spring-loaded 510 or an adjustable 510. I know Sigeli moved from an adjustable to a spring-loaded, which was a good move on their behalf. Pro number 2 is definitely the feel, the construction. This is zinc alloy. It's made out of zinc alloy. It definitely feels solid. It's like a weapon in your hand. It's very rugged. Feels like if you dropped it, it wouldn't break. So that's got to be a pro. It's really comfortable to hold. You're not going to get cramps or anything from holding this. I mean, I have small hands, and you can see it's pretty small. It's really comfortable. So that's got to be another pro. Number 3, I would say, is the LCD display. It doesn't stay lit up for very long. It goes into standby pretty quickly, but it's very clear, definitely easy to read. And at nighttime, this LCD display, they have it set back behind the glass a little bit, probably maybe like 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. So at nighttime, it actually creates a little bit of a glow around inside that display there, which looks really sharp. Pro number 4 is definitely the fact that this fires down to rated 0.5, but I've noticed that it reads lower, so I would say 0.45. I don't know if they purposefully put that in there and adjusted the lowest resistance, but like I said, I confirmed with Greenleaf that one of the guys from Greenleaf, his IPV Mini was reading a 0.4, and it was still firing. And as you can see on mine, it's reading 0.4 ohms. Oh, it's upside down, sorry. There you go, 0.4 ohms, and it is firing it. So that's definitely a pro, the fact that this fires low resistance atomizers in such a small device. Now, pro number 5 is the fact that you can select pulse width modulation or straight DC to DC pass-through. That's also a really great feature. You can put in pulse width modulation to save some of your battery life. It's not going to extend it crazy. You maybe get another hour to 2 hours out of it. But having the ability to change between pulse width modulation and straight DC pass-through is a great feature, especially for the higher wattage devices that you're going to be using, like Kangers that require higher wattages. So you can get a nice hot, warmer vape out of it. And then you can still put in pulse width modulation to save some of your battery life when you're using a Nautilus or a Nautilus Mini. And pro number 6, which is the last pro on my list, is the pass-through chargeability. Great feature. All new devices should come with this. You don't have to buy an external battery charger. You can just plug it in, charge the battery, vape on it while it's charging. Great feature. Like I said, all new devices should have this. It's almost a given nowadays. Now, moving on to my cons. Con number 1, this is not a light device. It's actually heavier than the IPV2 and the IPV2S. However, weight is not really a huge issue. With a tank on this, it probably maybe weighs like a pound and a half. But the weight is definitely, because of the construction of this, it's constructed very well, which adds weight to it. So that's not a huge con in my books. Doesn't bother me at all. Con number 2 would be the fact that this thing does fire sometimes when you put it in mobile charge mode. But once again, I'm not buying a mod to charge my mobile phone. I'm buying a mod to vape on it. So, I mean, it's got to be listed as a con, but it's not a big con in my books. If you're buying a mod to charge your cell phones, I mean, I don't get it. Now, con number 3, because this only takes one 18650 battery, if you're running this thing at 30 watts, I mean, you're not going to get the greatest battery life out of it. At 30 watts, in pulse width modulation mode, you probably get maybe 5-6 hours out of it before you have to change the battery. But that's the beauty of this little guy, is that you can just pop the bottom off, slap a new battery in, and you're good to go. Or you can plug it in, charge it, vape on it while it's charging. Back to the pass-through chargeability. Great features. But yeah, it's got to be listed as a con for the battery life, but it's a single 18650 device. And my last con would be the placement of the charge port. I don't like it on the bottom because you can't stand this thing up while it's charging. I wish they had moved it either to the front here or the back. But, I mean, the back would be hard because of the battery tube. But I'd like to see it maybe at the bottom right underneath these wattage up and wattage down buttons. Having it on the bottom is a little bit of a con. Once again, though, I mean, I just swap my battery out. It's not a big deal. But for you guys that are going to be using the pass-through chargeability of it, it could be a big con for you. So just keep that in mind. All right, so that was my pros and my cons for the IPV Mini. I'm going to give you guys some clouds with the Kanger sub tank on here, running this thing at 30 watts in DC pass-through mode instead of the pulse width modulation, because I want to get a hot, warm vape out of it. So yeah, let's do some vaping on it. I'm going to move back so you guys can see. This thing chucks pretty good clouds. So you can see it right there. This thing chucks pretty good clouds. 30 watts on a Kanger sub tank. This mod powers this thing more than enough. Flavor's great. So there you go. The IPV Mini at 30 watts. Now, let's get on to what you guys want to know. If Greenleaf hadn't sent this out to me for review, would I have purchased this? The answer to that would be hell yeah. I just recently sold my iStick to one of my buddies that was getting his wife into vaping. So I didn't have a mini device that I could run, my Nautilus Mini on. And, it looks a little small on the Sigelli. So, yeah, I would have purchased this strictly to use it for that. But, I mean, the fact that it does 30 watts and it fires the Kanger in the Atlantis tank, it's just extra. I think it is more than enough power to power the Kanger sub tank in the Atlantis. So it's I would recommend anybody that is looking for an upgrade from the iStick, that wants to grab an Atlantis tank or a Kanger sub tank, or start rebuilding anything higher than 0.5 ohms. Definitely pick one of these up. I know up here in Canada they retail for around 75 to 80 bucks plus tax. For that price, great little mod. You have to buy a battery with it too, but you don't need a charger because it has pass-through chargeability. So that's another, that's great. So that pretty much wraps it up for this review, guys. Like I said, I'm going to have the Kanger sub tank review coming in a couple days. So till next time, guys, vape on, and I'm out. Happy New Year 2015. Let's make it a good one for the vape community. Cheers.